Hey, personal finance fans, welcome to my June 2021 net worth update. As you can already read on the screen, my net worth went down 15,000 in the month of June. Very painful. I'm sure like a lot of you, I don't make $15,000 a day at work, so I have to work a number of days to get that back. But it actually wasn't as bad as last month, and I'll get into that. But effectively, what I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to share my actual financial numbers with you, give you a peek inside of what's good and what's bad. And last month was not all entirely bad, so there were some good aspects to it, even though the grand result was 15,000 down. But anyway, I hope you hang around and let's get started. So welcome to Level Up Personal Finance. This is where I'm documenting my financial journey through life. And you might have already noticed I do stay off camera, and I do that because I think that allows me to be 100% honest with you. I don't mind sharing my mistakes as well as my successes. It helps me to stay off camera where you only hear my voice. So I hope that's okay with you. But the channel here, what we do is we go over topics about money management, how to get through life, how to make, I think of it as every month better than the previous month, and how do we get to our financial goals. If you like, please subscribe. This is a way that you can easily find yourself back to some of my future videos. And as they say on the commercials, you can cancel at any time. It's always free. But let's go ahead and get started. So quick background before we get into the numbers, just so you understand context, where I'm coming from. 52, I don't have kids. My FIRE background is quite extensive. So first off, if you don't know what FIRE is, that's a financial movement that's known as financial independence, retire early. I've been doing this in some form or fashion, I think, for most of my adult life, sometimes better than otherwise. And I'm definitely more financial independence than the retire early side of things. I actually enjoy my job and I'm really more into financial independence. And where that kind of came from is I had some jobs early in my career that I really hated going to work. The type of morning, which I hope none of you have, but it's where you open up your eyes when the alarm goes off and you're already dreading the day ahead. And I learned that the more financially independent that I could be, the more emergency savings I had in the bank allowed me to have a happier life. And I know I can make more in other career than I have right now. Like my job, they pay me very well for it, but I know I can make more otherwise, but I'm happy with it. And that independence is just a fantastic life where I don't wake up every day dreading what's coming ahead. I actually wake up and enjoy what's coming ahead. So that's why I kind of pursue the financial independence side of this. Now, my aspirational side is what's known as fat fire. And really, this is in contrast to lean fire. So lean fire is where people are very frugal and minimalistic in their spending. It allows them to take their income and just save a ridiculously large percent of it. Fat fire is actually where you're able to effectively live very well without having a job. So in a sense, your investments pay you the same or more than what your job would pay. So that's kind of where I aspire to be. I'm not there now. Don't think I'm going to get there even within the next year, but it's something that I want to get to in the future. And also, something else I've been doing, which I think is very important if you want to be strong in personal finance, and I've been tracking my net worth since 2007. I won't bore you with too many of the details, but I think it's important. I do it every single month, so I want to know how I'm doing now, how I've done in the past, and it helps me understand where I'm going in the future. So I think it's something that everyone should be doing. And for the first time, I hit a major goal last December. I passed 1 million net worth back then. If you don't know what net worth is, effectively net worth is your assets or what you have minus your liabilities or what you owe. So effectively, what I owned versus what I owed was over $1 million. And I think that's a big, I guess, benchmark or level or target that a lot of people like to hit. It did take me a little bit of time. I was 51, but it was something that was very nice to finally hit. And I've made many mistakes along the way, especially related to cars. Cars has always been a problem for me, I think. So it's something that maybe some of you can kind of have that feeling as well. In fact, the last 3 cars I've bought have probably been too much. So it's something I'm still working on. Even though I've done well, I think there's still always room for improvement. But let's go ahead and get started and start looking at the numbers. Sorry, I couldn't help but do a little bit of a visual pun of open up the curtains there to my finances, but let's just kind of start taking a look at what happened last month. So one, I'm a cryptocurrency investor and I did see a pretty big drop in value over the last month. It was not as bad as May. May was a complete bloodbath, but it definitely still continued to drop in June. Hopefully now, July is already looking better, but who knows? We'll see where it goes. Stock market had some good gains on there, so that was some of the positives for the month. And I've started to go back out. I think like a lot of us, as we're starting to kind of see the world open up again, I'm starting to see some of my expenses go up. However, it's still not 100%. I'm still kind of staying home more than I used to, but I don't know if that's going to change or not, but I'm definitely starting to spend more money. And a big goal that I hit this month is that I have a relatively expensive vacation coming up in August, and I wanted to complete a sinking fund, meaning that I wanted to pre-fund that well before the vacation. And I went into a pretty hyper savings mode, and I was able to do so. So that was a great, I guess, felt good to have that behind me. Now I know when my vacation comes up, it's already paid for, and it's a nice feeling. In the past, I haven't always done that. I've paid for a vacation, or I go on vacation, let's say, and I pay for it later. It's nice to kind of already have that behind me. So but now let's get a look at the real numbers on here for the month. So my net worth statement for June. So once again, if you don't know what it is, it's where you kind of lay out your assets or what you own and then subtract your liabilities or what you owe to other people. And that's kind of what I'll show here. So my assets, my checking and savings went up a little bit, went up 6%, about 43,000. I am pretty heavy on checking or with cash out there in my savings accounts. And that's because I have a pretty hefty our emergency fund. I'm really a big believer in having about 9 months worth of your emergency saved up. So there, of course, worst case happens, you lose your job, you're fine for 9 months. It's a great feeling that when going to work every day, knowing that you're fine even if you lost your job. Retirement funds, so mainly in the stock market and mutual funds. I have some individual stocks. So it went up about 2% in June, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I tell you what, I would love to have 2% per month. So that was a fantastic growth for 1 month. Okay, the big one, down 11%, down to 250,000. So it went down about 11,000. This is the cryptocurrency. So this is where I have some Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a whole range of other altcoins out there. So it dropped about 32,000 in June. Now that's better. I lost over 100,000 in May. Now, it's hard to be happy about a loss of 32,000, but I'm still pretty bullish long-term about cryptocurrency. So that's okay. I don't want to have too many months like that where I lose 32,000, but I was okay with that. It's definitely kind of a volatile market right now, so we'll see where it's at. It's already come back some, but let's not worry about that. We're talking about June. My house and my car stay steady, worth about 460,000. I don't revalue these too often, maybe like about once a year, so I'll kind of go through there. I probably should do my car more often, but that's where that's at. And overall, my total assets, or what I have, 1.4 million, went down about 1% for the month from May. So what do I owe? Credit cards, $1,000. This is kind of consistent every month that I seem to owe this. It's pretty strange. I used to have a lot higher credit card bills, and I put everything on my credit card because I want to get the points. So groceries, gas, going out, restaurants, what have you. I try to put everything that I can. I'm not really a big cash spender, but it's nice that it's down. I should probably explore that someday on what I used to spend. I'd be interested to know what I used to spend. Like, why did this used to be 2,000 or 2,500? So it's a lot nice that it's down to 1,000 every month. And I do pay it off. So it's just what it was at the end of June. And my mortgage below 160,000. That's just consistently going down. I don't pay any extra on there. Part of me wants to, but the interest rate is just a little over 2.5%. So it's hard to put any extra money in my mortgage. I still have 14 years to go on this one, so it's still quite a ways away. So overall, total liabilities of 161,000, give or take. You guys are already ahead of me in the math, so my net worth is 1.27 million on here. So pretty crazy saying that. Overall, since the previous month, it was down 1.2%. No surprise since I lost 15,000, but not good, but I've had some really good months over the last year and overall with my net worth statement. So I guess every once in a while it's going to have to go down. What goes up has to come down. And with that one, for over the last 12 months, I'm actually up 45%. So, about a year ago, things were still not completely recovered. My retirement funds were still down from COVID-19, but overall it's done pretty well. So I'm still, even though it's got a slight frown that the past month wasn't the best, for the past year it's definitely grown a great deal. So pretty happy about that. So real quickly, what are my outstanding annual goals? And it's hard to believe the year's already half over. My plan is to max out my retirement contribution. So 401k, it's going to be 26,000. Now, some of you might say, how do you put that much into it? Well, since I'm over 50, I can do the catch-up contributions. So there's actually like two. I can put 19.5 and 6.5 into that. So 26,000. I'm on track for that. So very happy. That shouldn't be a problem for me to hit. And then some aspirational goals. I'm trying to pivot more to 401k Roth. I think it's something I haven't done much in the past, and I'd like to retire with part of my retirement in a Roth account. And that's one that it's basically you have to pay tax on it now, but then it grows and you could withdraw it tax-free. So I'm not looking to necessarily convert existing traditional 401k funds into it, but I definitely want to put more future funds into it. So I'm trying to grow that. And what I do is every couple months, I just kick in a little bit extra and lower the contributions to the traditional. And a sinking fund. So just like where I finished up my vacation sinking fund, I had wanted to next work on my new car that would come up. That's still a couple years away, but instead I have a 401k loan out there, and I won't go too much in depth of that in this video, but it's something I want to get rid of. So it's going to take some time even with a sinking fund. So I'm not going to just sit here and just dump every last available dime into it, but it's something that I do want to attack over the next 12 months. And also I want to start a new investment fund. So kind of something on the side, not retirement related, and mainly in the stock market since I'm already probably too heavy in the crypto side of things. So those are things I'm working on. Anyway, guys, what are your thoughts? I love to hear from you about how you track your net worth. Get so much out of the other personal finance community here on YouTube. I've gotten great ideas from some of you that are probably listening to this. So thank you very much for the great content you put out there. But I'd love to hear any suggestions. And also, I changed my format some up here, moved a little bit into color, a couple of videos. So I don't know. I'm trying to be a little bit more of a professional YouTuber here. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I appreciate if you're still here. Thank you. And hopefully we'll talk soon. Bye.